Yo guys, what's up? It's Elijah and We Crack Packs, and I'm back, baby. It's been a while, I know, but it's been for good reason. But before we get into the topics, before we get into the reasons, I just learned a couple things. You know what this channel's been missing? We've been missing crazy effects like this. No, you know what it is? You know what we're missing? We're missing awesome sound effects like this. Nope, you know what? I finally figured it out. You know what this channel's missing? Gimmicks, like this one right here. Yo, what up? It's your boy Pokey Scarf Boy, and you know we here to get cracking, baby. So let's crack these packs, but it's gonna be chilly, cause every car we pull will be nice and cold. But I keep the scarf on. You know what I'm... Whew! Now that that's over, hey, listen guys, I took some time off for some very special reasons. I wanted to make sure that what I was doing was for me and for me only. So I took some time to heal. What does that mean? I took a look at the hobby. I took a look at what we were doing. I took a look at the time. I took a look at the investment. I took a look at all of those things, and I wanted to take a couple steps back and really just evaluate what was happening. So I found myself re-falling back in love with Pokemon, but I really didn't know what it meant at the time. At the time, I was like, wow, Pokemon cards are really popping off again. Is it a thing? Is it money? Is it to catch some quick fame on social media? What was it for me? What was it for everyone else? Why was it coming back around? Why was it a thing? Why did the pandemic make it go boom and all these things? So I really took some time away to reevaluate. I spent a lot of time with my family. It was a blessing. We got to talk about it a little bit. And, you know, it just really brought things to fruition. And I thought to make this video to share with you guys in case that you start a journey, or if you're within your journey and you kind of just want to figure out how to, you know, manifest positive vibes and move forward. So let's talk about the first thing, time management. While I dove into this hobby, I had no idea the consumption of time. I had no idea what was going to be chewed up, what was going to be wasted, what was going to be reserved, what was going to be used in the I had no idea. I just was head in. I was like, let's go. I want to do this. As the time went on, I started realizing I'm not only opening packs. I'm shooting videos, I'm editing videos, I'm purchasing, I'm running inventory, I'm comparing, I'm collecting, I'm doing all these other things, and the next thing you know, I'm looking at the time like, wow, it's become an 8-hour day for Pokemon. Now I know what you're thinking. What's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. As long as you're doing it for the right reason. Now, for the first couple weeks and months, I didn't know why I was doing it. I didn't know if it was for money. I didn't know if it was for likes or followers. I didn't know if it was for my collection. I didn't know what it was for. So I backed off. I looked at how to manage the time. I looked at how I could fit it into my schedule. I looked what was important to fit in my schedule. Is this important? Is that important? I had to figure it all out. And one thing I came to notice, especially with time management, is if you're doing a hobby and you don't want it to ever feel like a job, then you have to really make sure you balance your time. I believe in my whole heart, time is the #1 thing that is devoted to your hobby. We're gonna get into a lot of things. We're gonna cover a lot of things. But with time management, I can't stress it enough. So here's what I've learned, and here's what I'm gonna do for myself, and hopefully it helps you guys. When it comes to collecting, when it comes to hobbying, when it comes to doing any of those things, really take a look at what you're already responsible for. Do you have a family? Do you have a job? Do you have other extracurricular activities going on? And if so, how does your hobby insert into that? Remember when you start that hobby. Remember when you start collecting. Remember, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to fill a small little void. It's supposed to be there. So if you're putting it into this calendar or you're putting it into the schedule and it's starting to like stress you a lot, and it's not really matching your other schedules, you really have to take a step back like I did to figure out how you can do it. One of the biggest things I did for myself, and that I'm gonna continue to do for We Crack Packs, is figure out a schedule. Scheduling is so important. Biggest way you can time management possible. I was cranking out videos left and right, Instagram posts left and right, and then it started getting to me. Instead of being so sporadic and so about it, why don't I put together a schedule? So for We Crack Packs, for YouTube, for Instagram, I'm gonna devote a weekend day, whether it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, to sit down and crunch all of my material. for the social media platforms, for myself, for collecting, for whatever it may be, so that it all streamlines and it all comes out simultaneously for the viewers, for myself, and for everyone else, so that it's just managed well. And there's no stress. There's all this time set aside for it so it feels better. For me, moving forward, time management is the #1 thing that I know is going to keep this thing amazing for me. Do I love collecting these cards? Yes. Do I love seeing what the next chase card is? Absolutely. Do I love comparing what I have to other people? Hello, duh. It's called a trading card game. I want to see what I got compared to what's going on. But none of that is possible without time management. I hope I helped you guys on time management. Let's get into section 2. Number 2 is really important. Almost as important as number 1, because at the end of the day, you just want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Budget. Make sure that you are properly prepared budget-wise and financially to take on such a hobby. Most people think it's just Pokemon cards. Yeah, sure, but it adds up quickly, especially when you're trying to complete things, especially when you're trying to get the next best thing. You wouldn't believe it, but it does cost, and it is costly quickly. I'm telling you guys to budget. Budget. One thing I found that's helped me out in the last 2.5 weeks is budgeting properly. When I say budget, take a look at what you're already responsible for. What bills do you have? What other things do you need to pay for? What's coming in? What's coming out? What can you give to your hobby? What can you spend? What are you allowed to spend? And then be okay with that spending. You don't need the flashiest. You don't need the best. You don't need the next hype. You don't need any of those things. You need what you need. You need to stay focused on you. So figure out your budget. Get within your budget. Stay tight to that budget, and it will happen for you. I promise you that not everybody in here is streaming millions of views a day and getting residuals off of that. It doesn't work like that. We all have to fight. You gotta keep posting. You gotta keep streaming. You gotta keep doing those things to even get anywhere on the social media market. So until that happens, budget your lifestyle accordingly. See what's going on. Do you have enough for groceries? Do you have enough for this? Do you have enough for any of those things? And when you do, take a look at what you have left. And if you can get yourself a booster box, you go ahead and do it. But if not, wait until you can. There's no stress. Stop comparing yourself to other people, slow it down, and collect within your budget. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about something that's a little bit different. It's not the same. First, we talked about time management, and then we talked about budget. Number 3, however, it's more of a question, and it's almost as important, if not the most important. Why? Why are you doing it? Why are you collecting? Why are you spending money? Why are you managing your time? Why are you budgeting? Why are you doing all those things for Pokemon? Well, for me, it took me a couple weeks to figure it out. And it's really simple, and it may sound cliche, and it may seem like everyone else's answer. But when I was just 10 years old, and yeah, I'm gonna date myself, a long time ago, we're talking early 90s, I was early into the scene, into the creation of Pokemon. And I found myself on the corners, on the street, on the playgrounds, and I was collecting and trading Pokemon cards for fun. Literally for fun. Do I have that Blastoise? No. Do you have the Charizard? No. We talked about it. We showed up with what we had. We had a little battle, and we discussed, and we traded right then and there. There was no monetizing. There was no how many followers do you have. There was no do you have this Charizard that's graded at a PSA 10. There was nothing like that at that time. So I had to take it back and remember all that and realize that. So for me, the why is simple. Why? Because it's pure joy. And I hope it's the same for you. It is a lot of fun. And I can't wait to share more and more with every one of you. And I can't wait to see your guys' collections. I can't wait to compare, and I can't wait to trade. I'm Elijah with We Crack Packs, and this has been a special video for me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let's get into these boxes. Let's get into these cards. Let's get into this hobby. Let's get into the collections. And most importantly, let's get cracking.